Welcome to the Explainer. So, did you know that in traditional warehousing, things like human error, manual delays, and energy waste actually account for millions of dollars in lost revenue every single year? It's a massive problem. But today, we are exploring a real game changer, the cutting edge technical architecture of a fully automated smart warehouse system. We're going to unpack exactly how the Internet of Things, specifically when simulated and meticulously designed using Cisco Packet Tracer, is completely revolutionizing modern logistics. We're talking about a robust technical solution that literally transforms a massive, sluggish physical building into a highly efficient, hyper-responsive machine.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the logistics automation challenge, look at a fully automated solution, break down microcontrollers and IoT gateways, map out the networking in Packet Tracer, dive into security and climate control, and finally wrap up with energy efficiency and ROI. Let's jump right in. All right, Section 1, the Logistics Automation Challenge. Why exactly are traditional warehouses in such desperate need of a technical overhaul?
Well, if you look at how these environments operate, the contrast is honestly pretty stark. Traditional setups are practically bleeding capital through incredibly high personnel costs and completely disconnected operational systems. Think about your standard warehouse today. You're relying on reactive rather than proactive safety measures. You are essentially waiting for a fire to start or a climate control unit to fail before a human being happens to notice it and react. That's a huge vulnerability. But in a fully automated smart warehouse, we are shifting that entire paradigm to achieve zero human intervention. This technical solution directly tackles those bloated labor costs, it eliminates human error, and it creates a centralized, proactive environment that anticipates and resolves issues long before they ever become emergencies.
Moving right along to Section 2, a fully automated solution. Let's see how this complete transformation actually works, from the ground up.
Imagine a massive industrial building that basically breathes and reacts on its own. We're integrating an incredible array of smart hardware here. You've got fire sensors talking directly to automated sprinklers, motion sensors perfectly paired with webcams and smart doors, thermostats commanding smart AC units based on real-time data. Even the lighting, the fans, and the windows are all networked together. By syncing all these IoT components, the system regulates the warehouse environment completely effortlessly. And this is the primary defining benefit of a fully automated warehouse environment. It completely slashes the need for manual labor, allowing the entire facility to run smoothly, safely, and entirely independently.
Let's put this into perspective with a critical safety scenario. A hazard is detected, and literally within milliseconds, a signal hits the microcontroller unit. That unit bypasses human decision-making entirely. It routes the signal straight to the sprinkler and extinguishes the fire instantly. Think about how long it takes a human to spot smoke, verify the danger, run to a fire alarm, and activate a suppression system. In that time, your inventory is destroyed. This localized, immediate reaction prioritizes workers' safety and product preservation in a fraction of a second.
Okay, so how do all these physical devices actually share information? That brings us to Section 3, microcontrollers and IoT gateways. Let's start with the absolute core of this network, the IoT gateway. By definition, this is the central network hub that connects all your various sensors, servers, appliances, and smartphones. Without a gateway, you just have a bunch of isolated smart devices that don't share any context. But with it, you enable unified remote control and real-time monitoring. Think of the IoT gateway as the central nervous system of the warehouse. It routes all the environmental data straight from the floor to a central server, ensuring the entire facility operates as one cohesive unit. For a facility manager, this means you can monitor an entire warehouse's vital signs right from a smartphone in your pocket. Now, if the gateway is the brain and the central nervous system, microcontrollers, or MCUs, well, those are the rapid reflexes. Imagine touching a hot stove. Your hand pulls back before your brain even fully processes the pain, right? That is exactly what an MCU does for the warehouse. They act immediately to process a sensor's input and trigger an instant physical response. They are the frontline responders, translating a sensor's digital warning into a physical action, like turning on a ventilation fan to clear fumes or triggering a sprinkler, without ever waiting for a centralized server command or human intervention. Now, let's dive into the digital blueprint that makes this entire automated ballet possible. Section 4, Networking in Packet Tracer.
Cisco Packet Tracer is an absolute game changer here because it allows us to model this highly complex environment virtually. I mean, why build a multi-million-dollar physical warehouse, lay miles of expensive cabling, only to find out your network bottlenecks when the motion sensors and fire alarms trigger at the exact same time? This simulation provides cost-effective virtual testing before a single physical cable is ever laid. We can perfectly configure the switching protocols that manage how hundreds of devices talk to each other without network collisions. We establish the server connections responsible for routing heavy IoT traffic safely, and we simulate the smartphone interface for remote control. Getting this digital blueprint right guarantees real-world success and saves an incredible amount of capital.
Our source material sums this up perfectly. The system integrates multiple IoT devices connected via a central gateway, allowing real-time monitoring and control. It's this precise server routing that acts as the real technical magic. Whether you are storing volatile chemicals, sensitive pharmaceuticals, or perishable food, or relying on these meticulously planned server connections and network protocols guarantees that the system responds to environmental shifts instantly and flawlessly, preventing massive financial losses. Let's see this network logic in action on the floor. Section 5. Security and climate control. We can actually map this automation out directly. We're taking specific hardware sensor inputs and pairing them directly to automated appliance actions using pure network logic. A thermostat gathers ambient data, the server routes that temperature information, and the smart AC is seamlessly triggered. A motion sensor trips, the gateway switches the signal, webcams spin up to record, and smart doors lock tight. We have effectively replaced human guards, overnight watchmen, and floor managers with flawless, immediate network routing. Picture a break-in at 2 in the morning. A motion sensor detects movement in a restricted zone. Instantly, a network switch alerts the central gateway. Webcams automatically snap to attention and begin high-definition recording, and the smart doors slam shut and lock. The facility literally secures itself, trapping the intruder in milliseconds. That's long before a human guard could even spot a blurry figure on a CCTV monitor, let alone reach for a manual alarm. And it's the exact same story for climate control, completely hands-off. Thermostats continuously monitor the warehouse, constantly pinging the central server with environmental data. The server then coordinates directly with the smart AC units via the central gateway. Cold storage is incredibly expensive, and even minor temperature fluctuations can destroy delicate products. But this continuous automated coordination guarantees that sensitive inventory is protected from temperature spikes around the clock with absolute consistency. Finally, let's zoom back out from the networking details and talk about the bottom line. Section 6, Energy Efficiency and ROI. The added value of this system is simply undeniable. First, we're looking at a substantial reduction in manual intervention, which leads directly to drastically reduced personnel costs. You just don't need the same headcount to monitor a building that monitors itself. Second, we achieve massive energy efficiency. Think about it. Smart lights and industrial fans operate only when triggered by network sensors. If a zone is empty, it stays dark and quiet, minimizing energy waste completely. This centralized server tracking delivers an incredible return on investment while simultaneously guaranteeing enhanced quality assurance for whatever is sitting on those racks. 0. That is exactly how much human intervention is required for daily climate, safety, and security adjustments. This is the ultimate benefit of the fully automated smart warehouse, relying on a robust technical foundation to create a space that thinks, reacts, and protects itself entirely autonomously. It gives facility managers and business owners total peace of mind. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating, provocative question to close on. As we perfect these digital Cisco Packet Tracer models, how will future integrations like AI predictive maintenance push automated logistics even further? I mean, if a warehouse can already run itself flawlessly, how soon until it can predict its own mechanical failures before they even happen? It is an incredibly exciting frontier. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and we will see you next time.